What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we do upload Pokemon Go content related to PvP, so please consider subscribing to the channel if that is of interest to you. And if you're a returning subscriber like Crazy and Greninja, thank you for the support. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a set of 5 battles in which I went 5-0 in the Open Master League and finally broke 2900, putting me pretty high on the leaderboard. It was a set using the same team from the last video with Kyogre in the lead, Giratina Altered operating as a safe switch, and Dialga, which could also operate pretty well as a safe switch. Now, as we saw in the last video, the team is quite weak to Togekiss in the back, and I have been experimenting with a lot of different teams in Master League so far. This team, despite what you see in this video, I did do very well, going 9-1 in these 2 sets, but right after this set, I ended up going 1-9, dropping down all the way to 2800 before building back up and now close to 2900 again. So the team isn't perfect. If you run some team comps, it can perform pretty well. I'm going to take a look at some battles in this video, see what we did right, what went right for us, and coming back from a couple of bad leads. So let's get into the battles right now. Alright, so heading into the first matchup here against No Game, No Life. Big facts right there. Kyogre into Dialga. Horrible lead, so we're going to switch out into Giratina here. Could switch out into Dialga, of course, but the thing is, my only counter for Dialga is pretty much my Dialga. So if I bring in Dialga, they switch out. It's going to be pretty hard after to counter their own Dialga, so I like bringing in Giratina here, especially if they choose to stay in this matchup, because Giratina could still chunk away at it. So the main issue about bringing in Giratina here is that he gets a slight energy lead, and when I bring in the Dialga after this, assuming he stays in, he actually has a good opportunity of getting to the Iron Head here, which normally wouldn't be the case. So in this situation, we're able to farm down, which is perfect, but sometimes they will get to that Iron Head, which could make you use a shield, but I usually tend to just let it go through. Here, Groudon comes in, so I'm going to throw the Iron Head. Is going to get the shield, so now I'm going to switch out into my Kyogre with a shield lead, and they bring in Mewtwo, and Kyogre with 2 shields will actually beat Mewtwo here. But not only do I have a 2 shield lead, I also have an energy lead, so this is a perfect situation for me to be in here. I'm trying to see if I could farm down here with Waterfall. He's going to throw the Side Strike, so I'm definitely going to have to shield up one of these. Choose to shield up the first one, and we are able to farm down, so now that Groudon's going to come in, and with even shields here, it's pretty much game over, so the opponent does back out there. You could see the power of Kyogre on this team, even in the lead. Very strong if it could get something like Groudon, Mewtwo core in the back. Shinta 87 here in the second matchup. Kyogre into another Dialga, so again, another lead you don't like to see. I've been testing switching out into Giratina. I know a lot of other people switch out into Dialga. I like switching into Giratina. I don't know if that's the right play. It seems to be working for the most part for me, so I think it is a good choice. And I do it mostly, like I said, because I don't have any other counter for Dialga on this team. So I don't want to risk them switching out into their hard counter and then having nothing left over for their own Dialga in the end. So here I do get to another Dragon Claw, and this Dialga here is not in the red, so this time looks like he has a bit more health than in the previous matchup. So I'm going to bring in our own Dialga here and try to farm down, of course. But as you're going to see here, he does get to the Iron Head here. So now we have a choice to make. Do we want to shield this? Do we want to let it go? We know it's an Iron Head for sure, so we don't have to worry about the Draco meter. I'm going to let it go through, farm down, and I would expect the hard counter, Melmetal, Groudon to come in now. Rhyperior comes, so I'm going to throw the Iron Head. This should get a shield here, and then I'm going to instantly switch out into Kyogre. Hope to get a few waterfalls through because those are going to chunk away. And he brings in the Mewtwo again. So again, you could see Mewtwo in the back with 2 shields against Kyogre. Perfect situation for us to be in. So I'm going to shield up this first Side Strike here, and I'm going to throw the Surf. Looked like there might have been a slight lag there, but it's okay. I'm going to throw the Surf, get the shield here, and I'm going to try to throw the other Surf. He does beat us here, so he's going to throw the Side Strike, but we should be able to KO with the Surf here. If not, we should be able to get an extra Waterfall, so it's a pretty good situation to be in here. I'm going to throw the Surf, does KO. Rhyperior is going to come back in. We're just going to do as much Waterfall damage as we can, knowing we're probably going to get hit by a move. This could be a Rock Wrecker, which would knock us out, but our Dialga in the back is definitely going to be able to Dragon Breath this down, especially because the Rhyperior has no energy at this point, and Dragon Breath is so OP that with that much health difference, we're going to win. So 2-0 start here against Smudge Blot in number 3. Match number 3, that is. Kyogre into a Melmetal. So again, this is a pretty good lead for Kyogre and pretty much our only good lead so far. You can see Melmetal actually can win this in the 2 shields, but it's very rare that the Melmetal will actually stay in. A little bit of lag there, but don't think it affected anything. I'm gonna throw the Surf here. This Melmetal is building up a lot of energy. They might go for superpower and then dip out. Very surprised to see them take that move there. Going to bring in the Giratina Origin. I bring in the Dialga here, and a lot of times the Giratina Origin does come out here to bait out the Dialga, and then they have their own Dialga in the back. But the thing is, he has a Melmetal anyways to counter our Dialga, so this isn't the worst thing, and that Melmetal has a lot of energy, so I assume that once we take out this Giratina, they are going to bring in the Melmetal. And you can see they didn't use any shields. We haven't used any shields yet. Expecting the Melmetal to come in and throw probably a Rock Slide at this point because we're getting pretty low. But he does bring the Dialga instead, so he's saving that energy on the Melmetal. So at this point, I have to bring in the Giratina. We were right about them having the Dialga in the back, baiting out our own Dialga with the Giratina. But this isn't the worst situation, although I am a little bit worried about the energy that Melmetal has in the back. So things are not looking too good here. We're going to have to start investing some shields with the Giratina because I need to get rid of this Dialga here. So I do choose to shield this Iron Head here. And I'm going to throw the Dragon Claw. Would expect him to look to switch out into the Melmetal soon. Probably throw some Rock Slides at this Giratina. He does shield there. And he's probably going to get to one more Iron Head, but oh no, he's going to beat us to it, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I think at this point we actually let this go and consider farming down with the Kyogre here. But at this point I can see, you know, the farm down is pretty aggressive, but we do get it. We needed that energy though for that Melmetal in the back because it has a lot of energy of its own. So we have to match it with that energy. So it took a risk there taking some Dragon Breath damage from the Dialga, but it's probably going to pay off here. That Melmetal now is in range of a Surf, and we are going to actually have to use our shield here. This should be a superpower most likely. It is. So can we get to the Surf? We have the Surf ready. So we're going to take this match here. And we're going to go 3-0 so far in this set. And we're going into the next matchup here against Bunky Jump. So Bunky Jump is going to be leading a Groudon. Finally, we see a Groudon with the Kyogre lead. When you're leading Kyogre, that's what you want to see, of course. Opponent switches out into Mewtwo, and I'm going to bring in Giratina here. And obviously, Shadow Sneak is going to chunk, but Dragon Claw does a bit of damage too. If you think he's going to shield, probably better off to go for Dragon Claw, but in case he doesn't shield, Shadow Sneak is going to do a lot of damage. I'm going for the Dragon Claw here. Let's see if it's going to get the shield. You're fine going either way, to be honest. It does get the shield, so that's perfect. And at this point, I'm going to have to shield up to Side Strike because this will KO. And if he lets this Shadow Sneak go through, we should be able to farm down, I believe, before he gets to one more Side Strike. I'm actually going to go for the Dragon Claw, so it looks like I'm expecting the shield here. Let's see if it's going to get the shield. Does not get the shield, so Shadow Sneak would have KO'd. But fortunately for us, we are able to farm down before he gets off another Side Strike. So very lucky for us there. Going to throw this Dragon Claw now onto the Dialga here. And because of that farm down, we were able to get a lot of energy there. Not able to throw that second Dragon Claw, a little bit unfortunate. Going to bring in the Dialga here for the mirror. And every time I'm in the Dialga mirror, I'm looking at the energy to see what it is they're doing. The opponent's not throwing, so that allows me to get his last shield here if he wants to keep that energy, which he does. And at this point, he switches out. I'm going to bring in the Groudon here. And with that shield store, this is pretty much game over because he's going to have to throw that energy onto my Kyogre at this point, and my Dialga should be able to come in after and just farm down here. Especially if he's throwing something like Draco Meteor, he's going to be in a really tough spot. If it's Thunder, then that's good for him, but still, I should be in a good position. He actually does throw the Draco Meteor, so now the attack's lowered even more, and I have the shield, so the opponent actually backs out before I can even bring in my own Dialga there. So 4-0 heading to Alio Man in match number 5. Looking for the first 5-0 set here in the Master League for us. And we see a Dialga here in the lead, which is not best buddy. So this actually would be a situation where maybe you would want to consider bringing in Dialga if the opponent chooses to stay in. But I've been sticking to the plan, bringing in Giratina as the safe switch. Opponent's going to stay in this matchup, so he's going to hit us with the Iron Head. I'm not sure actually if this match is affected by best buddy or not, whether it's a little bit better for the Giratina. Looks like I might have a chance of getting to one more Dragon Claw after this actually. This is going to be really tight, let's see. No, I think I'll get farmed down regardless still, yeah, still get farmed down. And now I'm going to bring in our own Dialga. And obviously we're going to look to farm down here. We should be able to, especially because it's not best buddy, before they get to an Iron Head. They actually get to an Iron Head still, which is pretty amazing. I don't know what happened in this matchup, but they should not be getting to the Iron Head generally. I might have switched in a bit too late into the Giratina, I assume. So we get met by the Mewtwo here. And this is likely going to be a Side Strike It is, so I let that go through. Gonna throw the Iron Head here. Mewtwo is staying in this matchup. And at this point, we're just hoping to have something weak to Kyogre in the back, especially with 2 shields left. They're gonna throw the Side Strike here. Am I going to shield this? I am going to, because this is going to hurt. And I'm really hoping they have a Groudon in the back at this point. And let's see what it is gonna be. They have a Dialga with very low health. They're taking a long time. It's a Kyogre. So this is a very tough situation here because we do not have Thunder. We're down to shield. We have an energy lead though. The only way we can win this matchup here is by calling the Surf bait. Or hopefully they don't have Thunder. But if they do have Thunder, they're probably going to look to throw a Surf bait as well. Either way, we have to take this first one. It's our only win condition here. So I'm going to let this go through. And it's a Surf. That is amazing for us because now I should be able to outpace it in damage. Gonna throw this Surf here. Opponent's going to shield. Is he going to look to switch out and sack the Dialga? I'm gonna have to shield this up here. I would be expecting a switch here, so I'm gonna bring up my switch tray, get the Dialga ready here to farm down. And he's going to bring in his own Dialga, gives me some more energy. I'm not going to get to the Iron Head anyways, but our Dialga is able to farm down that Kyogre. We go 5-0 in that set, and those were some pretty good battles. Hope you guys enjoyed them. After this set, I did finally break 2900 for the first time this season, so let's see if I could keep things going in a positive direction. So those were the sets there with Kyogre in the lead, Giratina and Dialga in the back. As you saw, we did not run into any Togekiss in the back, which is obviously a huge problem for this team. So when I did start losing with this team after, I did begin running into a lot of Togekiss in the back. And it is problematic, of course, but there is some win conditions to consider. I've also been considering changing the moveset on my Dialga from Draco Meteor to Thunder, maybe to catch some of those Kyogres with the Thunder. Also hits Melmetal a bit quicker with Thunder as opposed to building up for Draco Meteor. The thing with Draco Meteor is that it can one-shot a Groudon, which does come in clutch at times. Also been considering switching the moveset on Kyogre from Blizzard to Thunder, but aside from the mirror match, there really isn't much else that Kyogre is going to do with that Thunder. So I think Blizzard, because it does hit Giratina, Dragonite, Dialga, a lot of those things for a lot more damage with Blizzard, I would assume it's probably the more optimal move to go with. I don't know. I've been experimenting with different teams, different lines, and we'll see what I come up with in the next video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.